What's going on YouTube? This is SWTOR Gaming, and by request I am doing an operative healing guide. We're going to start off with the basics, which are going to be utilities. Going into the utility menu, we're going to start out with nanotech suit, reduces all area of effect damage by 30%. This is great for operations, just because you are getting AoE a lot, and as a healer you need to be able to soak up some damage, but not being able to, like, having damage reduction on yourself is very critical in PVE and PvP, just because then you can focus on healing those who are actually needing help, and this will help you a lot. Next is going to be Carbide Burst. You can use this just to help you take care of ads. Either do that or Flash Powder. I'd suggest Flash Powder more for PvP than for PvE, but both work fine for both. Just Imperial Weaponry is a bit better for PvE. And just in case you guys didn't know, this guide is going to be mainly focusing on PvE. Next, in Masterful, we have Advanced Cloaking and Endorphin. I cannot pronounce that. Adrenaline Probe now immediately restores 15 additional energy. This is essential for when you just run out of energy and you need that extra energy. What I might change with this is, instead of Advanced Cloaking, which reduces the cooldown of Cloaking Screen by 30 seconds and Sneak by 15 seconds, in addition, activating Cloaking Screen to increase movement speed by 50% for 60 seconds. This would be for stealth reses, mainly. If you're doing a lot of stealth reses, I would suggest doing this. If not, I would go with Counter Strike. This will be good for any fights where you get rooted a lot, like Blood Hunt, or not Blood Hunt, but what is it? Legacy of the Rakata. There's the Rancor boss. You get rooted a lot in HM. Next is going to be Evasive Screen. This is again something that you're going to be wanting for stealth reses, because it will grant you 2 seconds of evasion. So if you have any dots on yourself, you can go ahead and use Cloaking Screen to go back into combat, back into stealth, and you will be cleansed of anything that is on you while you're doing that. So that is a good idea. Next thing is going to be Augmented Shields. This is just all around. It's going to give you the most, like, people would argue that you take Revitalizers over Augmented Shields. I would say take the Augmented Shields, just because you're going to be using this a lot more than you're going to be using Stim Boost. Mainly because of the longer cooldown, and plus, this does not give you much health. This is 5% of your health every 3 seconds, so 1, 2, 3, 5% of your health. And it does reduce damage, but if you have even one medical probe or whatever. Here, let me see. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe Culto Probe. Gosh, I can't believe I forgot the name of it. I'm so bad with names. Anyway, if you're getting a 20% reduce in damage, but this is a 30%, and if you even have one hot on yourself, it's going to do a lot better than this. It's just pretty much what you should go with. These are the utilities. Feel free to copy them, swap them out how you wish. Next, we're going to go into the actual abilities of a healer. So we're going to start out with Culto Probe. This is your bread and butter. If you are going to be healing someone, say the tank, you're going to want 2 stacks on each of them at all times. Never let those stacks drop off of them. Never. Just do not let the stacks drop off. It is number one. Best tip I can give is do not let the stacks run off of your tanks. That is number one tip for you guys. Do not let the stacks get off, because that will do a ton of healing. Next, we're going to go with Surgical Probe. Now, if you activate Surgical Probe, you'll see Tactical Medicine. This increases healing. So if you're doing this, you might also notice that with Surgical Probe, it will refresh Culto Probe. So what I would suggest is doing a Surgical Probe and then using another ability, so you get that bonus damage. It'll help a lot, and it'll help with tactical advantage management. So for a burst combo, I would suggest doing this, and then Surgical Probe. Go into Cultural Injection, so you get that tactical advantage back, and then use them when seeing as soon as you use this, by the time it's done channeling, cooldowns, you can instantly surgical probe them, getting their stacks refreshed and getting the buff again. And I might also want to point out that recuperative nanotech also refreshes, also, I should say, grants the tactical medicine. So again, that is absolutely essential to like bursting, is having the tactical medicine on there. So again, use this within global cooldowns. I wouldn't just sit there and spam it. 3k is not good enough. So what I suggest is doing a cult infection, and it gets between 6 and like 3k. Come on, give me a crit. Okay, I'll show you. And then boom, seeing as if you look down here, off global cooldown, I can instantly fall through tactical or a surgical probe. Seeing as cult injection grants tactical advantage, it's a win-win. You're getting a buff for your heals, and you're getting that tactical advantage. So again, use that like when you're bursting people. Now I'm going to go over the next ability, which we've already gone through, Cult Injection. Cult Injection heals a friendly target for between 5.4k and 6k. That is without critting. I've seen crits all the way up to 18k with my stats. So it's going to be your burst heal. Definitely going to need to use that, especially because it just got buffed in 3.3. I've not actually healed an operation since 3.3 launched. I have still yet to experience the full extent of how the changes work. What I think they're really good, just from the tests I've done. But the next ability I'm going to show you guys is Cult Infusion. This is for tanks, guys. So scenario here, you have a tank, and you have you have HOTS all over them. You have the Cult Infusion, which executes tactical advantage to heal the target immediately for 3,238 to 3,818, followed by an additional 3.4k over 9 seconds. So basically what you would do is to make sure, so you can say, I wanted to have this tank, say Calio's the tank, and then Scorpio's the DPS. I would go ahead and I would put 2 HOTS on there. Now I would, just give me a tactical advantage, please. I'll just use Cult Injection. Again, global cooldown. Now watch, I'm going to do Cult Infusion, then I'm going to do Surgical Probe off cooldown. Now I'm going to have Operative Nanotech on there. So now you have all of these HOTS, and now I am free to switch over to Scorpio. DPS. Put on HOTS. Again, switch back, refresh the Culto Probes. Off cooldown, use Recuperative Nanotech. Surgical Probe. The DPS is getting low. I have the buff still. And boom, you just healed that person up. That is just kind of, in general, what you should be doing. You should always have your HOTS on the tank. So this Recuperative Nanotech, seeing as it is an AoE, it heals up to 3 allies within 10 meters for 4,545 over 9 seconds. So yeah, again, use this on like when there's more than one person. And another thing I want to add is it does increase healing received. That's good for tanks, and also if say at the start of Bulo, you know how most raid leaders have the DPS get, just like go ahead and throw this on there. Now they all have increased healing received for the next 42 seconds. That is critical to keeping people alive. And that also brings up the floodgates for our next ability, which is Culto Waves. Heals up to 8 allies that remain within 8 meters of the targeted area for 5,623 health, or the channel duration depletes 28 energy for the duration of the channel. So, say I was to put Recruit Nanotech, and then I would go ahead and use Culto Waves. Reason being is that gives HOTS to all of them, but what I probably should have done is say like 4 DPS are like below 50%. What I would do is I would Surgical Probe, Recuperative Nanotech, and then Culto Waves. So then I have the healing received buffed. I have my tactical medicine on, giving me an additional buff. Then I finish it up, giving a nice cultivation there to heal them all back up and get some nice beefy heals on them. That is how you should like burst heal a bunch of people. That is like the best way to do it, because then you have buff, second buff, and then you have a lot of healing going out. So that is what you should be doing. Next, now I'm going to go ahead and cover like some of the other abilities. For example, Stim Boost. Stim Boost, inject yourself with a specially engineered Imperial Stim, immediately gaining tactical advantage and boosting alacrity by 10% for 15 seconds. Does not break stealth. So what I would suggest doing with this is, say like you're about to wipe, so you want to be able to burst people. You need the extra alacrity, and this extra tactical advantage might help if you're low on tactical advantages. Use this at your own judgment. Do not use it when everybody's like high in health. You don't. This is an emergency ability, and I want to say right now that healing rotation. There is no rotation. Do not use a rotation for healing. It is like you need to be able to judge and do triage. Triage is finding out who needs the most urgent care at the time. So say there's a DPS at 20%, you're going to want to heal the DPS who's at 20% over the tank that is at 50%, because the tank has more armor and is probably not going to die unless you see a need that the tank will probably die, either by some sort of mechanic or by standing stupid. But the DPS is probably going to die because it is at low health. That probably means that it has aggro from something or is standing stupid, so you're going to want to heal the DPS that you don't have to stealth res or sacrifice your in-combat revive. So again, trauma, guys. Triage. You have to be able to triage people, and again, there's no rotation. It is whatever you need. And if like nothing's going on, just DPS at the boss. Like if there's nothing going on, you can either put a HOTS on everyone, which isn't going to help a lot because they're going to drop off before they're going to take too much damage, and then you might as well have used Pulse Waves on them. Or you can start DPSing the boss, which is helpful in hard modes, because I think most of us who are like hardcore raiders have seen on YouTube or have experienced wiping at 1% or 2% or 5%. That could be averted if your healers do DPS. I'm not saying DPS while the other DPS and while the entire raid is low in health. DPS while there is an opportunity, like when nothing else is going on, you have your HOTS on the tanks and everything's calm, you're good, you have this under control, and if any like AoE goes out, you could just throw it with Ultra Waves. So again, that is like the big essential part of it. So again, use this as an emergency, and then basically just do that. Use that as an emergency ability to help you get the extra burst. I'm going to like show you how to get your energy back up. So in order to do that, I'm just going to get my energy down. I'm just going to spam Blood Shot because it consumes so much energy. Alright, it's there. Alright, so now I have two ways of getting my energy up. First is Diagnostic Scan. So whenever this crits, it will restore 10 energy. You see? Instantly going up whenever it crits. Lower again. What you're most likely going to be doing is Adrenaline Probe. Boom. Instantly up. I would suggest following that with the Diagnostic Scan so you can just get full energy back. So that is what you should be doing with those two abilities to get your energy back up. If you're smart, you're going to be using Diagnostic Scan on any DPS that are above 90, which brings me to the next topic, is what abilities do you use when? Only use Cold Injection when they're below 70%. If they're at 70% or below 70%, it consumes a decent amount of energy, 20 energy, so you can fit 5 of these in without... hypothetically, you could put 5 of these in, and then it'll consume all of your energy. So you can't be spamming Cold Injection. So what you should do is, say this DPS is at 70%. You should use the Cold Injection. It crits nicely, and then just follow it up with a Diagnostic Scan and a Surgical Probe if they're still not up, and put a HOT on them. So that way they are healed. You just restored your energy by using Diagnostic Scan. So you just basically put all the energy that you took back into your reserves by using a Diagnostic Scan or two, and you got the DPS all the way up to full. And the reason why I just put surgical probe in there is that it's a nice way to finish off when everything's off cooldown. And now, what are you going to do when, like, say, 5 members of the raid are like at 90%? Go ahead and use. Crap! I did not mean to do that. Use the method I already taught you, which I just screwed up, which would be surgical probe, group nanotech, and then console phase. Remember, recruit and nanotech is only used when like a bunch of DPS are at or below 70%. 70% is the danger zone, and that is when DPS can quickly be taken. I suggest using a cult injection because it's will restore most of their health back to a reasonable state quickly. You don't, and most likely there's going to be other DPS, so I just use a cult injection whenever they're at or below 70%. And remember that cult infusion is a tank only ability for the most part. It's best used for tanks. It doesn't give you much leverage with a DPS just because it's like you don't need the HOTS on the DPS, only on tanks. Then recruit and nanotech should also be on tanks whenever possible. Of course, then Cult of Pro should also be on both tanks at all times. Never let those go off. I think I should be finishing this up really quickly, but I have a few more abilities that we should go over. First one is Cloaking Screen. So say I have a DPS down, I'm in combat. Make sure you do not have a HOT on anybody. If that HOT is on, say this, on a tank, if that HOT is on a tank, then you're going to get knocked out. I'm going to go more into depth into stealth reses later on in the guide, but for now I just wanted to be able to show you that this is what you should be doing for stealth reses. Then Recitation Probe will be what you're using for in combat revives. I've seen some people say, oh, I just stealth resed, but you didn't because you had HOTS on everyone and you were using Recitation. Crap, I'm so sorry, I cannot talk. Anyway, next will be your cleanse. This is whenever you see something on the raid. Crap, I just punched my mic. I am just a mess today. Use Toxic TN. There are mechanics that require this, and plus it does heal them slight heal. So again, this has been a pretty good guide. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and like if there's anything that you do not like, then please comment down below saying what I should fix. Feel free to ask me any questions about this guide. I will be doing more guys on stats, stealth reses, prioritize in the future. Let me know if I should continue, if you'll find this useful, and if you'll keep watching. Please make sure to follow me on Twitter, add me on Steam, follow or subscribe to me on Twitch, and make sure to, if you're feeling really special and nice, donate to my channel via the donate tab on my channel page. Just go to my channel and you'll see it on the right corner, support General Stone Star Gaming. I really appreciate donations. So I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe for more, leave a comment. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye bye.